Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Beyond the Ordinary show. This is John Burgos, your host for this evening, and I am so excited that you guys are here with us today. Have you guys ever met someone that any time they touch something, it just seems to turn to gold, or anything that they do, just it seems like it's play and it's easy for them and things just fall into place so easily? Well, our guest today is that type of person for me. It's like she's amazing. Everything that she does is infused with play and fun and with this tremendous wisdom that things are just going to work out. And it's so infectious, and she's got this incredible system that she teaches people how to do that. Again, I'm just thrilled that she's with us today. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Janet Blackkirk has fast become regarded as the change agent. She playfully invites people around the globe to open to greater energy, oneness, and expanded possibility. She has a background in corporate blended with her unique approach to change, and Janet has the ability to profoundly deepen her clients' lives. Janet is the author of several books and programs, which include Seven Dragons, A Guide to a Limitless Mind, and her upcoming transformational chick-lit novel, which I think is fantastic, called Falling in Stilettos. Janet has also been invited as a contributing author to several books, which includes How Did the Fierce Handle Fear with Donald Trump and Jet Canfield, and Business Bushido with Stephen Covey. Janet also runs a 7-figure conscious-based company with multiple programs and products and events that include The Naked 2.0, an online how to change, communicate, and connect with your infinite body from joy within. Origins, which is her 3 live event designed program to integrate our conscious body with our infinite being as oneness. And she also has the New Wealth Experience, a global change movement inspiring over 65,000 people to raise their conscious awareness and for change. Janet has also been on a ton of radio shows and TV shows, including Martha Stewart Radio, NPR, Fox News, and hundreds of other radio acronyms around the nation. Again, Janet is just phenomenal. Again, she brings that play aspect into everything that she does, and you can tell by the success that she's had because she's walking her talk. The programs that she built out there, she came into this conscious movement from a corporate perspective, and she's been uber successful at it because of the resonance that she carries. So again, Jennifer, it's just a thrill to have you here with us. I want to welcome you.
Yay! I'm so happy to be here.
Well, yay for us. Yay for us. Again, I just think you're just phenomenal. Your energy is fantastic, and again, you just do things. And when you and I talk about programs that you're launching or ideas that you're putting together, it always seems to come with such great ease.
It does. It does. It didn't used to, but it does today.
It didn't used to. Tell us what it used to be like, and tell us how you got to where you are now, because there's a secret sauce there that we all want to learn.
Yeah, let's start there. Gosh, so I was a corporate executive at Dell Computers, and I walked the corporate ladder for 13 years, and I basically walked myself into a jail, and I sat in that jail until finally I got up the gumption and the real true inspiration to do my own thing. I got to actually play with Michael Dell in quite a few instances where he, was in the office with the VP that I worked under, and really saw how he grew his business, and I really became curious about that. And it all started really, me leaving Dell was really truly inspirational. I had a series of horrible weeks and months, and I was really starting to get really dark. It was basically like, I joke on some of the telesummits. I felt like I was in the dark, and, I just needed the Zest commercial, the soap. I was like, guys, I need zest. I need to wake up and have life. But I felt like I was really doing the daily grind, and it really was sucky. And And, long story short, it was a Wednesday afternoon, and we, it's interesting because you run this office, and I had a team of 12 or 13 people that gave me information. I collected all the information, then I had to give the reports to the VP. Well, it's about end of quarter, and we're collecting this information, and that's all I have my mind on, nothing else. I don't have my mind on my body and the 6 Diet Cokes I drank earlier that day, and the crap that I ate just to keep myself awake because I was up like half the night worrying about stuff. And I just totally was just in this like crap zone. And I drank so much, and I felt like I didn't have time to go to the bathroom. So I walked to the bathroom, my bladder's like overflowing over my waistline. And you know that feeling, John, when you go, oh my God, just get me to the toilet. Maybe it's on a long trip. Mine just happened to be at the corner office at Dell Computers. And I make it to the bathroom, and I have this trail of people behind me. And as I go down and go to the bathroom, somebody asked me this really stupid question that has nothing to do with, getting my records or my numbers together for upper management. And I lost it, or I woke up, one or the other, and it was just like, okay, crap, what the hell am I doing here? Is this really the life I lead? And I walk out. I love cars, by the way. I always have, the hottest new ride, so to speak, and I drop my head on the steering wheel of this brand new car, and it still smells of all the aromas of leather. And as you know, I live in Texas, and my body starts to overcome with tears and sweat, and I fell into this place of sadness, and I was like, what am I doing here? And then God kind of entered my life, and it said, walk away. And that was really the first entry door to total clairvoyance. And
wow.
And that was like, okay, now what? And I started to kind of step into this place of just wondering, what was next, and having this kind of curiosity, because I was of the place where I can't leave this job. These days I call these absolutes, right? Can't leave these jobs. I have all these conclusions. I can't have my life because I need this money. I can't, I want this car. I want my house. I don't know any other option. I can't walk away. And I started to realize that what seemed like total and utter success, being, in that position, at a really large company, was total utter jail. And that's when I started to seek freedom. And I really started to explore my intuition, which was first what I called it, and then I called it psychic abilities. And now I've kind of scrapped all that and said, you know what? I just know that I know, and I'm going to follow that knower in me, and I want to teach other people how to follow that knower in them. And let's play. And that's where I am that's where I am today, in this place of, hey, come, let's really explore what's true for you, and let's create in this reality and really uncover any of the ailments, any of the stickiness, any of the hiding. Let's just, put it all out there and say, you know what, this is what I think I am, and take that from what I think I am to this is what I know I am, and I'm ready to know, and I'm ready to know my knower, and here I am. And that's really what this is all about for me.
That's amazing. Well, that had to be a scary proposition just to walk out of that corporate job, because I know what it's like to have the security in a corporate job and the paycheck and the vacation time and that predictable lifestyle that's safe, right?
Totally, right?
But you're so succumbed again. It becomes to feel like a jail cell the second you start waking up a little bit, or you start noticing that something's not right. And the way that you had it was just so profound. It's amazing that you took that leap of faith the way that you did. So you just quit cold turkey.
Oh, it wasn't like that. It sounds a little bit.
Okay.
No, actually, I have a book. It's called 7 Dragons: A Guide to a Limitless Mind, and literally my husband was like, love, I do have a job, and as much as you think that your whole lifestyle will go away, if you leave this job, you're not going to lose cable. and I was like, okay, and then he said, I don't know if it's inertia or what, but yeah, I literally, he had to. It wasn't a courageous act as it may have sounded just a minute ago. I literally had him and my dad and my sister and my best friend all like, it's okay, you can leave. We believe in you.
Right.
And thank God that was 8 years ago, because my life is very different now.
Your life is hugely different now compared to what you're talking about, because that's a big leap of faith, and there's a lot of people that they feel that entrapment, but they don't know how to get out. They don't know how to create something different, or it's that false sense of being confined in something because we're scared to make a change. And
totally.
And again, I just love your title, the Change Agents, because you facilitate that for people on a continuous basis. And if anybody goes to your website and they see all the testimonials, that it's easy to see why you've built a 7-figure business on a continuous basis, and you can continue to do it because it's you carry that energy, you carry the vibration, and you know the steps that it takes to get you there. And part of what you do there, so part of your program and part of what you do is called the reset for your money vibe.
Yeah.
EQ. What is that? I'm assuming that's something that you incorporated and you put into practice. Thank you. EAQ. Okay.
EAQ. Yeah.
How did you come up with that? Was this out of the necessity after you left Dell and progressing forward?
Yeah. Well, after I left, I really began to look at, and I don't know if I've always been a seeker, but there was something inside of me that really got me seeking more and really exploring more. And I've interviewed 278 personal development experts in research to really uncover what is the best of the best and what will really create change in this reality. Not just create change meaning, you can go into your top chakra and play out in the 5th dimensional space, but what will really create change like here in your life, in the physical space. And in doing this research and really looking at it, I've really uncovered a lot of the tools that really, really create change. And I got curious about a couple different things. The first one was, brain entrainment and emotional cue. Okay. And for a while I played in this land of emotional space. And then I got to a space where I got introduced to principles where it wasn't just about the emotional space, and thoughts, feelings, and emotions were quite limiting, and we could play in this space of energetic awareness. So the EAQ, as we're playing with these days, it's really about what spaciousness are you, and playing outside of the emotional space and not playing in the constraints of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And the acronym in my Dragon book, I use time, because those are what goes on in the mind, which are the limitations, so to speak, which stands for the T is thoughts, the I is images, and the M is mental patterns, and the E is emotions. And that seems to be what goes on in the mental mind, and it's really contracted. And the EAQ is about your energetic awareness quotient, really stepping beyond that construct and the constraint, so to speak, of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, which is what a lot of personal development people talk about, and it keeps us very limited.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, Jen, if you can talk about this all day long, but how do we apply that? I mean, it's you can.
Yeah.
How does how would I apply that to myself? How would someone in the audience?
Cool. Thank you for asking.
Because that's a big concept.
Yeah. So so I really work and operate from the body, and I know that I was like blah 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 corporate executive, Dell computers, this, that, and the other. But my background is actually I'm a nutritionist. And I played in this land of nutritional sciences for quite some years, and I really have played with the hormones and the energies of the body and really looking at how we communicate through the body. And so, I don't know if for your audience or not if this is a new concept, but, I really do look at us as we are infinite being or infinite space, and we are truly connected with the body. Deepak Chopra, he said, the body is in us, we're not in the body. And when he said that, there was something really, really true about that. And when I really started talking with others in this research, I really began to receive that as the way of being, that we are this infinite being and we are connected to this conscious body of ours. And in many cases, we think our body has all these limitations, but in the perspective that I have, the body is actually a very, very conscious tool that sometimes we forget to communicate with. So in the presence of, and to go back to your question, really how I look at the EAQ, it's really about the energetics that we are perceiving in the body. It's, what is this, flutter in my heart that I identify as anxiousness? And we go from that vibrational flutter and we just label it as anxiousness and we say, I am anxious. I don't know why I'm anxious sometimes, but I am anxious, and we then have concluded that we're anxious, and that is a limitation of what it really is, where how I look at it is that through the body, we have this going on, this anxious maybe is how we labeled it, but maybe it's just a simple vibrational flutter that we feel around our heart or our chest, or our lungs don't feel expansive in the moment. And when we ask the questions around those vibrations in the body, and we say, first, what are you? And we ask the body, and when we ask the other energetic systems around it, well, then we open a door to really seeing what's going on. Now, some of that is linked to past stories, past beliefs, and that's all changeable. Some of it is linked to, what does the feeling and the vibration of worry, what's the energetic awareness that it has in the body, and it's linked to the future, and also often linked to thought about worry in the future. And what if we could change that contraction? And what if we could change that through the body? So that work is really working through the body because, I mean, we really only have right here, right now, this present moment. So everyone take a breath because I feel like everyone's like, woo, what?
Oh. Yeah. Describing that and putting that. I've never quite heard it that way before.
No, it's a little different. Yeah, but we really only have right now. So all of the future crap beyond now, which we identify, the best word is worry. I mean, there's thoughts of future, fantasies of future, fabrications of fantasies in the future. All of that is just fabricated, conclusional, what I call absolutes in my work today.
Okay.
And everything in the past, memories, ideas of what was, I was a mother, all of that is just past stuff. Even not just this lifetime, but past lives, and not even past lives, but past, other planetary lives. All of that we don't have to live by today.
Right, and it's interesting
but it's still going on in our body. The energies, in a lot of ways, in a lot of cases, are still going on in our body. So I look at the energetic awareness of that as what's happening right here, right now in the body.
Right. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's interesting you bring up past lives and my belief on past lives is that it's fun to revisit and think, okay, I could have been this or that in the past life, but truly everything that we need, that all the lessons that we need to learn and all the tools that we have available within ourselves, our powers, our strengths, our weaknesses, whatever you want to label them, we all carried it into this lifetime. And in this lifetime, we have the opportunity to heal all those things with the right tools, with the right information, with the right perspectives, and taking the right steps, moving beyond the limitations that you describe about the mind, the body, and integrating something that's going to be much more holistic and that's going to support us and really in the true way in how the universe works. And again, that's what you bring to the table here, Jennifer, is a system for that and your perspectives, because yes, you've studied a lot of different speakers. And for those of you guys who don't know, Jennifer is also a pioneer in the telethon world. She actually inspired me to do this series. She was phenomenal, and she carried that success and decided that she needed to level it up, and it's what she's doing now. But it's, again, you embody it and you carry it, and it's that theory on past lifetimes. Again, we carry all that now, and we can heal all those past hurts, all those limitations with the right information, with the right tools. So it's, that's why we're here. That's why so many people are showing up for these types of shows. They know that there's something else. They're ready to let go of the past and really move forward into their strengths, into their passions, into what their souls really came here to do. So that's why I'm so excited and so jazzed about all of this. And your talking point, it's interesting, Jenna, because what you're talking about actually takes me into it kind of segued for me into what you call, well, I want to hear about it, your global money conspiracy theory. And I think I know where you're going, but I'm not sure, so I'd love for you to tell us
about that. You probably do. Yeah, well, I didn't know what kind of words to put to it. I mean, there's the word entrainment, right, where, all the, beliefs and everything that you have around your parents, around their money paradigm, how much are you living now, right? There's that kind of energy. And, you can disconnect and unplug from all that kind of stuff. And then there's like, what's really going on right now? And how many people have thoughts, well, the economy is sucking, so I better get my butt in gear and hold on to my money. And there's the paradigm of, I'm never going to make any money because no one else is making money in this economy. those kind of paradigms. And why even try? I mean, I think that was the most recent one that I got from a client, when I finally got down to, well, what really is true for you here? And they got down to, well, I don't even think I'm going to make money even if I do get all this together because nobody's making money in this economy. And I was like, that nobody's making money in the economy. Okay, all those secret lies, okay, let's get rid of all of those now, right? And, and I have, I do use access consciousness type tools to clear. And, and we just look at and we're like, okay, done with that. And we really looking at, the paradigm of past lives. Like, how many times, were you, your head cut off because you had this major money and major power, right? How many times, were you decapitated and all these different energies? We can take all those past lives and all that crap back there. We can take all the present crap because there's just a buzz in the air that nothing is working and nothing is happening. And it's just like, no, really, it's not yours. It's just a buzz of an energy. Please, and help the rest of the economy by not buying into that lie as well.
Thank you.
So, and everybody take a breath and destroy and uncreate all of those paradigms and that conspiracy theory now, please.
And this is advice coming from a woman who built, again, a seven-figure business during
down
the worst
economy.
Yes, I know your history, and I know when you did this, and it was, and again, you make it look effortless. You really do.
And John, one of the things that really got me clear was I got to a place where I just said, I know what I know, and I know that what I know will change lives.
Right.
And when you get to a space where you know that what you know will change lives, it's really difficult to continue to deny and refuse that information. And I really began to connect with people and really see people and see the amazing gift that they were too. And I realized that I could not only show them what I knew, but I could also show them the beauty and the gifts that they were. And when I would do that, it would change their life, their wealth, their entire paradigm and how they are in this reality. And that really excited me, and that was one of the big changes that occurred for me, is that I really stopped refusing the beauty that I was and began to just be the amazing gift that I was and choose that.
And know that you're a gift, that you provide this, and you provide so much value. And everybody on this call, you all have this valuable information within you. You're here for a reason, and step into that beauty of yourself. Stop holding back. And, I can take my own advice sometimes also, but let's stop holding back and let's open up to what we really came here to do. And if you're not quite sure what it is, the only thing you need to do is take a first step and see how it feels like and listen to your body and keep moving forward. Right, Jennifer?
Yeah.
And it's also interesting because, again, we're talking, Jennifer talks a lot about money, but money is really just a means to facilitate something else. It's a means to facilitate greater change and to help people. So while the program revolves around money, money facilitates so many things, and it frees us up if we're not held back by the perceived notion that it's limited and that we can only accomplish so much because we only have a certain amount of resources. And it's, again, your programs focus around creating money. You help a lot of small businesses that are actually becoming large businesses now in their own rights. But again, it's because you see them, from what I perceive, Jennifer, it's because you perceive what they're here to do in the world, what they're here to do to impact other people's lives.
Yeah. Well, it clears away really some of the things that, people don't know that they need to clear away. Some of those like secret hidden spots where they just try to get lost and try not to be present, because when they're present, it's really geeky and uncomfortable. And so the program, it's kind of neat because it really clears away, some of that stuff where you're like, don't want to go there. Don't want to even look at it. I think the interesting thing about money is I work with so many people on money and body. Like, those are my two things that we've really found that we've uncovered. Actually fertility is becoming one of my hot spots.
Oh, interesting.
Ironically, yeah, we won't go there tonight, but yeah, I've had a lot of success with that. And so it's fertility, body, and money. Those are my big things. And the interesting thing about the connection of all of those is a lot of them, if you were to look at the chakra systems, which I'm sure a lot of the people on the line know about, is it really has to do with those lower areas of receiving, that we receive kind of from those, sexual parts, from the lower chakra areas, and, self-esteem, self-worth is often at the solar plexus. And those are the areas that I really look at as receiving. Like, we receive from this lower area of the body, and so many spiritual people that call themselves spiritual, they like to operate in the top chakras. They like to operate at the third eye and the crown chakra, and even beyond. There's lots of other chakras above us. And I'm interested in that. Great. I can receive awareness through that. But I really like being embodied, and I like having a body. And from having a body, I just think it's absolutely delicious, the experience of being embodied. I actually think it's a greater spiritual experience to have a body. And
it's a gift,
yeah. So my work is for all those spiritual people who are amazingly psychic, is to bring them from that psychic space into their real body. Like, really, when you ask the question, what percentage of you is actually connected with your body? What percentage seems like lost out in space? And what if you would take all those scattered pieces of you and bring them now into your body? And take a breath. Do that. Let consciousness guide you. And as you do that, and you bring all those scattered pieces back here, what's uncomfortable about that? And why are you trying to run from it? Because it's kind of interesting when you do that, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, right? It's kind of
Wow.
like, I was scattered. Yeah.
Right. And all of a sudden, that's so interesting, Jen, because I felt that coming in and relaxing in. Because typically I tended to operate from the higher chakras also, and I had to practice and meditate and do work around really activating my lower chakras, and especially my base. My base was really shut down. I managed to be very successful operating from the higher places because I was very intuitive and very psychic, so I took advantage of that. But to really bring in success and to ground it in and to let it come with ease, that was a whole different story. And when those came online, boom, things would just fall into place. And it's interesting that you started talking about this, because I was going to introduce you as someone who's very base chakra oriented, that really knows how to ground in this higher perspectives. I promise that was going to be part of my introduction of you. That's what came to me. but I kind of skipped over it, and I guess it was because of this.
That's funny.
It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm a body girl. I mean, I like being embodied. I like using my body. I like touching other bodies. You know, I love that. And and since I guess in the 90s I started yoga, and I really explore like the depths of body. Really explore it. And I needed that because I was not for quite a few years embodied. And, I felt that I had other entities, many, many entities in my body. And, and it felt more comfortable to be out of my body than in it.
Right.
And so.
Oh, I can attest to that, absolutely, too.
I think a lot of people can, because, and my body wasn't physically abused, but it had abuse. It had abuse from other siblings. It had abuse from, school and high school, and it had a lot of, abuse that was kind of self-induced for a while. And I did things that, I was a mean, I think in my early 20s I was really mean. And I'm not really sure that was me. It seemed like that meanness was kind of a way to prove, to show that I actually existed in this reality.
Sure.
And I really began exploring. And I think that exploration, thank God in some way, for those days where things weren't beautiful, because today I wouldn't be the person I am because I wouldn't have really sought out a way to be really, truly present. And I would say I am, the easiest word for me to say is I am free. I feel that I am free to be me.
It's
and
so
I think that, yeah.
It's interesting because what comes to me is that you know the light because you once were in the darkness, and that's just opposite, right? You know
and I know the light will get brighter too.
Right.
I know the light, it keeps expanding as long as I keep being curious about the light expanding. It keeps expanding, and all I need to do is keep following. And I can follow in this moment and in the next and in the next. And I don't have to be like, I want to hurry up and get there, because I don't really believe that there is that getting there. I believe every step is the first step. And it's just a matter of following the next step. And if we can really be in that in every moment, then we really, truly create with ease.
Well, and the steps get easier. It's just taking the step, and then after you've taken so many steps, you're like, why? Why don't I continue taking them?
Depends what steps you're taking, John.
The initial steps are the hardest, but once you start taking them and you look back and go, oh, that was actually pretty easy, or why was I still stuck there? You come to that realization, I want to keep moving forward. Look how incredible this is. What else is out there? So it becomes a thing that we turn the fear around into exploration and fun. And again, that's why I think that's why you're in that play mode and you resonate that so well, because you've walked past it and you know what walking forward feels like and the potential that it brings. Now, Jen, if I have to ask you, do you have an exercise that you can share with people or methods that are available to open people's chakras up and to align them better so that they can activate those pieces that are shut down? Or is that part of the course that you teach?
Actually, we should go back to all that. So those are the beginning steps, right? Let's start with, we can go into, the energetic space. I have this ability to really open vibrational space, which is quite fun. I call it awesomeness. And I don't do it with chakra specifically because I actually felt that was limiting of what the energy actually was. And when we could use essence and state, it would really open the door in a greater way. But I think what's really important for us to talk about first is this idea of, whatever is true for you, whether you believe that your chakras need to be open, they need to be clear, they need to be spinning in the right direction, or if you just simply need to decide what's the next best food to eat for dinner. I think it's really important to look at this energetics of expanded, contracted, a light and heavy type of energy. And what is, basically if something feels really light in your energy means it contributes to you, it adds joy, it's fun, it's exuberant, it adds more to your life and light in that way, then it's for you to choose. It's literally your path, so to speak. I don't really want to limit it by path, but it is for you to create next. And if it feels heavy or you feel like you have to do it or it's a daggone necessity, this, that, and the other, well, then that's contracted, and some people would denote it as heavy, and it's for you not to choose. So in each moment, you can look at and ask the question, is this light? Is this heavy? Is it expansive? Is it contracted? Will it add more to my life? Will it make me shrink smaller? And when you follow the energy in that way, and that vibration in that way, you can really truly calibrate what to choose next. Now, you may have responsibilities in life. I've worked with a lot of people who have autistic or ADD children. I've also worked with a lot of people that are like, well, it would feel really light for me if I get pregnant, right? And, and then you go in this energy of resistance, and, that's a rabbit hole in its own right. So we can, and I'm happy to open up the door to questions, and, we can use whatever we can use to change it. But I think, as far as, I know you asked for an energetic exercise, and I'm happy to give it, but I wanted to, really open the door for you guys to say, it would be really light to explore these other energies and to, really see what is now for me. And I just felt like that had to be said before we go into some energy work because, sometimes there's that assumption that you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to be on every one of John's calls because if you're not conscious and you're not expansive and you have to go to every one of these meetings because this, that, and the other. And it's not something necessarily that's said. It's something that you have contrived in your head. And I think that I just wanted to really open up the door to you choosing for you. So if we go down an energetic process, which I'm happy to do, I really want you to really feel into the energy and be in your body for the energy to really explore what is light here and what is expansive and what do I choose from this energy work instead of just doing the energy work being like, yeah, that felt good. I really would like it to inspire some creation beyond this call. I would like it to inspire you to really choose for you beyond just our next sentence or conversation or just the moment. It's cool that it changes in the moment, but I'd really like to inspire you to really create beyond this. So I just wanted to say that.
I'm smiling ear to ear because, again, it's what I just adore about you. is it's the grounding in of it. And I've never heard anybody really put it this way before. Typically when we go through, and again, in the telesummits especially, people show up for the clearings, for the, to get the vibrational lift and to feel that hum that goes up, but we tend to go out of body. We tend to go somewhere else, and it's like going into deep meditation sometimes. You get there, and you don't know what to do once you're there. It feels good, and you can touch space, and sometimes you get information if you're super clear, if you really tap in. But what happens if you actually take that energy, you go up and you come back down and use it again with that strong base, and base is that base chakra and those lower base chakras, and not that I want to focus too much on the chakra system, but that lower energy is that creation point where you actually start materializing. And when you can start using that energy to materialize, what can you accomplish in life, in health, in your finances, in your relationships? It's amazing. And again, I am so glad that you brought this up and that you explained it in that special way that you do, Jenna, because again, you're just it's why I was going to introduce you. You're this amazing spirit that comes in, and you have this architecture to going from out of body and constructing and having this architecture for creation from our soul passion, from our path, right? From what we came here to do. And again, you're just phenomenal at doing that for people. You do it over and over for your clients, and it's why you're so successful. And I do want to get into. Oh, go ahead, Jennifer. I apologize.
No, I was just going to say, we actually do create energetic architecture and energetic transmissions to really help people create from that space, from that real space of being.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and it's taken from what's above and from what below it and melding them, bringing them together to create from that special place. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, now, cool. Before we get into the clearings and take questions, you've put together a really special program for the show. I want you to explain to us about this program that you have. I think it's phenomenal. And for Beyond the Ordinary series, Jennifer is actually going to offer I found out about it before the call, and I was thrilled. A phenomenal bonus for us. So tell us more. Tell us a little bit about the program that you put together. Again, I think it's great, and the concepts behind it are just, they're so up my alley. I just love it.
I'm so excited about it. We're doing a 28-day adventure into your new money vibe, and it's, one of the things that I got excited about with money is it's about money, meaning, multiply, and more. And I've put together a 28-day series where every single day the people that are on the list, I'm going to activate their fluidity and their money vibe through energetics. We're also going to send them a tool or process or an energetic quote, so to speak, every single day for 28 days. Plus, you also get 4 calls for the week in the weeks of July. And I have a cool bonus. But let me talk about the calls first. So the first call is about money. And it's simply, being able to see, what it is without justification, without defense, without meaning, and without story. Just really being able to see money, to really look at your bank account and say, cool, there is this amount, whether it's in my IRA, whether it's in my bank account, whether it's in my savings, whether it's not even here yet, but it's coming through my business. Whatever it is, really being able to just say, hey, I see you without judgment. I see you with no exclusion. Like sometimes people in their savings, they like to not even acknowledge that it's theirs because of this, that, or the other. Or that it's taboo, it's not allowed to be touched. And
right.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's so many things behind this. Also seeing, what you really have without avoiding it. Some people, if they know that they're in debt, they don't like to, I think they think debt means death, and they don't like to even know the number of what that number is. So if they're going in the negative, they go, I can't even look at it. I'm scared. Never mind. I'm out of here. I'm going to the bar. and that energy is creating more of that. Money loves to be paid attention to, and it loves the relationship that it has with you. And that's some of what we want to bring into it. So we also want to look at, what is it that it will take to create what you want to create monthly? And just have it be that number as for what it is without, really forcing or thriving or fighting or whatever the word is, but simply being able to say, I'm creating that. And what do I need to be to create that? So that's what class number 1 is about. And then class number 2 is really about what it means to you. I mean, because I was really brought up relatively affluent, and, money was a tool for us. There were some worth issues that came up, but at the end of the day, money was a tool, and it was meant to be able to be used as a tool. There wasn't a lot of, we've got to twist this around, and this means, and if you're not making money, and if your husband's making more, then you're worth dirt. I mean, after working with thousands of clients, especially on this topic, I get that, you're not making money, well, then you value yourself as nothing. And that paradigm just has to go. It just, everything that you give meaning to in that way, especially meaning no value, is going to create more of that. So we, clear out a lot of the limiting crap around what money means to you, what you may mean to money, and really creating a relationship that really works around money. This includes destroying all the stories, the experiences, the emotional patterns that you're recreating. It's time for them to go, and it's time to say goodbye. And one of the best ways to say goodbye is by acknowledging it and seeing it for what it is without judgment. Cool.
I love that. Wow.
All right. Cool. So then class number 3 is about multiplying, really looking at, okay, money is a tool. What will I choose here today? Where can I multiply, like the things that are going right around money, what can I multiply and do more about that? Where can I expand it? And the things that aren't going well with money, where can I stop doing some of that? And just looking at it in a very way, well, here's what it is and what it is. And, every single one of these calls are live with me, so you can ask your questions. They'll probably go 90 minutes to 2 hours, as most of my calls do. So you will have access to me. And then class number 4, we're calling more. And it's, clearing away anything that really stops you from being moved to create more wealth. It's really about receiving more, perceiving ideas and opportunities, perceiving gratitude so that you can create more. And it's expanding vibration, expanding frequency, and really being the vibration of wealth instead of a vibration of somebody that doesn't have wealth. I mean, one of the things that became very clear to me is, there is a vibration that, operates, you can pull a strand within the matrix, so to speak, that is like Donald Trump, right, as opposed to somebody that's below poverty line. And it's just a choice. it's not, good, bad, right or wrong. It's simply a choice, a choice, a choice, a choice. And that is pretty interesting and phenomenal when people will really choose a different choice. So, go for it. Say it.
No, I think this is fantastic, and I'm sorry, I'm biting my tongue over here because I'm really looking at the package, and it's, you say it's about money, but the whole time I'm scrolling down the list. And by the way, anybody who's listening on the call, you can go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Jennifer1, and that's JENETH and the number 1. Again, beyondtheordinaryshow.com. I chose a long name for my series. Maybe I'll shorten it next time. beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Jennifer1. And I'm looking at the package here, and as you described, I'm thinking, but hold on a second. This also applies to our relationships with other people.
Yeah.
This applies to our health. This applies to so you focus on money, but I can see how these applications are, they affect everything else. And it's again, where are you having judgment about your relationships, where you're avoiding relationships or obstacles that are in the way. That's class number 1. In class number 2, it's the same thing. What are you trying to justify? What are the excuses for the past relationships or your health failing or things like that? And how do you destroy the old story? So this course is phenomenal. With money, it's fantastic. Again, your catalyst for change around money issues, Jennifer. I mean, your focus and your creativity there is phenomenal. But again, I see the applications to this course really going beyond just money, and how when you change one aspect or one sector of your life, whether it's money or relationship, it's going to affect the others.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think it's a much more comprehensive course.
Yeah. But if I'd name it relationship, it wouldn't be as hot.
I would agree. I would agree. But
it will cover. Yeah, it will cover a lot of those being stuff. Just you being you without anything else. Just like raw, uncut, uncensored, dropping the facade, dropping the walls, the barriers, the blocks, dropping the stories, blah, 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 and you just like being like, hey, I'm here. And that is what this is for, and this is an entry point to enter into my world. The package, it's live, which this is one of the first calls that I've done where we have a live, 28-day adventure with me, and it's $97. And this is normally, it would normally be packaged for $397, $497, and that's the retail. I mean, there's no fluff here. So this is, and I've just done it for John, and I'm also adding the first 3 calls for my exclusive product called Sexy Money, which is, so you can get started right away. You don't have to wait till July. If you sign up today, and we'll keep this open until June 15th, let's say that. So and I don't have it written on the page because it was just kind of a whim, and it was just a gut instinct that I'm like, okay, if they take action right away, you know what, I'm going to give them the first 3 classes for Sexy Money, which goes through what I call the 12 clearing codes to, money and sex. Interesting thing around money is it really is about receiving, and a lot of it is intertwined with sex. So I was on a call with one of my people that was asking me about money, and then she just slowly brought up that her libido was low as well. And then I started to ask questions about that, not just questions to her, but questions about it energetically. And went down a road for about a year about how money and sex are really interwoven, which brought me to fertility clients, ironically, and their willingness to receive, their willingness to conceive, and it is dynamically interwoven, and it literally just brought me to the knees when I said, so how much of you not receiving sexual energy, especially from men, for her, we can do a whole clearing for the whole group, do you believe is also related to your money? And she literally dropped to the floor, and she's like, hell of a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
And when you just ask the question, it's like, oh my gosh, how much intimacy and sexual energy have I cut off that has also cut off my money flows? And it's phenomenal. And, everything that, yeah, right.
And it takes me back. It's all base energy. Again, for people familiar with the chakras,
real low.
You get stuck on that, but it's all base energy, sexual
low.
energy, creativity, the money issue, allowing the receiving. It's all the lower energetic parts that a lot of people that show up for these telesummit calls are not necessarily the strongest in. And I won't say that's everybody, but there's a good portion of people that are extremely psychic, intuitive, empaths that show up for this. They know intrinsically it is in their body. They know that there's something more to life, and they don't know how to get it. And part of it is activating that lower energy and utilizing the strengths that we shut down because we tend to live in the higher vibration. And so when you talk about fertility, sexuality, money, creativity, and
it's all low like that.
It's all low, and again, it's amazing. Again, you do it over and over again for your clients. It's an activation that you do. You wake them up to this potential.
Well, I would hope so. And it's really interesting. I mean, I am one of those people that will, talk about intimacy and tenderness and sex, and I don't need to squirm from it. I've been married 20 years, blah blah blah, right? And we've gone down all of that, all of that tightness within me to really, truly, blossoming out in a way that, it's almost that together we come together and we can be open enough and allow consciousness to be us enough that it's almost healing for both of our bodies. And we unlock doors and vulnerability that we didn't even know because it's healing. I mean, it's so, so expansive from that way. And I think there's a part of me that really wants that for everyone. I'm like, you guys don't understand. I mean, we talk about, quote, sex and orgasm, and, it seems like you just, okay, done. It's like, no, that's the art of it all. Take a breath and let's, be in this. And, I mean, that's creativity in its own right as far as I'm concerned. The art of love. Yeah.
But the magic that comes when you relax into the receiving and the giving.
Yeah.
And again, it could be sex, it can be money, it can be the creativity, it can take lots of forms.
And what if it can just be all of that?
Exactly.
And to be perfectly honest, I would say, whatever it is, wherever you're holding a wall, I can show you how to get rid of it, kind of thing.
Right.
And in a way that is light and easy, and it's not scary, and it's not going to put you in a sweat lodge for 3 days, kind of thing. It's simply a choice. I mean, where you just simply have to breathe and choose it. I mean, then you might need to choose it more than once, and choose it until you actually demand to choose it. But in general, it becomes like, okay, guys, take a breath. Let's choose this. And I think that what's so dynamic about this work is it is simply a flip of the switch. You want intimacy? Okay, you say intimacy. Let's flip it, okay? done. Okay, now what's expanded intimacy? Okay, all right, done, right? And let's keep exploring this, and let's go down the rabbit hole. And great, now that we've explored intimacy, now let's explore creativity and why you aren't inspired, and why you think that you just want to, like, sit in nature and meditate. You know, what's beyond that, right?
Right.
And let's look at that. And then once, you know, we get through that, then let's look at the money stuff. Okay, you're inspired. You want to create. You know what you love. You know what's fun. Okay, now let's see how to monetize that. And, you know, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole in that order or anything, but, you know, that is where this all leads. And I think it's the art of real, true living. And one time I wanted to call myself a lifestyle coach. I'm a personal lifestyle coach, and, you know, that was a good label in some way, but really it was the energy of this, where I was like, you know, what is possible here? What is the most expanded possibility that could be fun and free and really allow me to love life? And, you know, and as simple as that sounds, I mean, that is what I desire, and don't just desire for me.
But it really is that simple, Janet.
Yeah.
We complicate it. We convolute it with the stories, with the limiting beliefs, with the fears and the anxieties, and the worry about the future. And again, you're just this exemplary example of someone who's walking it, and you're doing it, and you carry this beautiful energy about you. It's calm, you're confident, you know how to create, and you know how to, you know, expand into the universe and other dimensions also when you need to or choose to. It's all at your disposal, but it comes with ease because it's not difficult and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, funny that you said that. You know, John and I had a little brief conversation yesterday, and I was sharing that, you know, one of the things that I can do in my life is have these remembrances. I'm not sure if they are remembrances or they're just happening simultaneous on other planets or whatever. And I got to the point that I had all this information. So I was like, well, thank you, universe. That's cool, but I really only want the information that can help me expand my life and others now here on planet Earth.
Right.
All the other information, you know, nice, but just give me the information that I really truly need. Cool awareness, but, you know, let's keep this simple. And, you know, that dynamic choice was, you know, really a choice, you know, and I didn't have to have all these, you know, woo-woo stories. It's kind of fun because clients will come to me and they can't wait to tell me because they know that I can receive, you know, all of that information. So it's like all the psychic awareness, all the information that they have, all the visions, which is really cool, symbolic visions sometimes. Like, yeah, no, been there, heard it, dynamically amazing. And thank you. I'm grateful. And what will change your life today? Yeah.
Right.
Kind of nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. Well, talking about getting questions answered, I want to get into that. And I do want to tell everybody, if you're looking at the program, if you're interested in it, Jennifer is amazing. Not only is her information just extremely valuable and effective, it's also a lot of fun. She brings a lot of fun, playful energy to it. So the time's going to fly. It truly is. And you're going to get so much out of it. And for the price that it's being offered, it's a true gift with the Telesummit, Jenna, so I really want to thank you for it.
Great, thank you.
And guys, I don't want to pitch too much, but I do want to give you the link because I know a lot of you are going to want to dive into this. It's beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Jeneth1, again, JENETH and the number 1. And I'll give you some more information about that later. We'll send out replays and links to that. But, Jennifer, let's get into some of the questions that are coming in because I know we're going to run a little bit over. Well, we're actually already running a little bit over. But there's some great questions, and we'll pick a few out here. And and we'll wrap things up hopefully with your clearing or with your meditation. I think would be a beautiful way to end here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see. Let me take someone from the phone first, and we'll get to some of the written questions. I have Regina from Portland, Oregon. Regina, are you there?
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the show.
I just thought maybe Jonas could help me. I've always been an excellent student, excellent worker. There hasn't been anything I haven't been successful in doing except when it comes to the money. And it was funny that you were talking about fertility because I've always had fertility issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I was military. I was everything. I was always a straight-A student, you name it, athletic. There wasn't anything I couldn't do, and I was very creative. But when it comes to bringing in the money through business or whatever, it's like I'm able to always make money, but not able to make enough or get past a certain point.
Okay. So with both fertility and money, what are your stories, experiences around that?
Can you elaborate?
So in other words, how was it with your parents' money financial situation?
Well, I was Catholic school, and my parents were on WIC.
Okay.
So, food stamps.
So everywhere where you've been trained to your parents' protocols, your parents' ways, your parents' energies around money, and everything that is, will you unplug, disconnect, destroy, and uncreate all those energies now, please?
Yes.
Cool. Take a breath. So what are you currently doing to create wealth, to create money?
Well, I work a medical job right now. I've always been for the last 10 years I've been in medical, but I have a candy business where I infuse it with crystals and frequencies of energy and essences and crystal stone and gem. And it seems to be a big hit, and most of my clientele, doctors and stuff, don't even know what I do energetically with it. They don't know I chant sound heal into it either. So, it's just I channeled a lot of the candy, their properties and everything. So, and it sells well. People love it. I don't use any, cheap quality stuff. I use a lot of high grade stuff. But for like my husband, it's not doing well enough. And he thinks I'm excellent at everything I create.
Okay, so what is working about the business? Like, so it sounds like the way that you're using your words, it sounds like it's going pretty well.
Right.
But energetically, what you're saying is that it's not going well. Well, energetically, what I'm perceiving is that it's not going well. So where is the lie in that?
Is it society's belief that I'm not doing well enough, I guess? I do well enough.
Yeah, so stop. So truth, are you not doing well enough?
For myself?
Yeah. What is well enough?
I guess for myself, being a perfectionist it's like I can always do better. I can always be better. I can always, capitalize on everything. And I don't know if it's just a mindset.
Well, so tell me exactly what is not going the way that you think it should be going from being the amazing creator that you absolutely are. Yeah. So what is that?
Yeah, that really makes me think because it's like there's nothing wrong with my creative part.
Yeah.
Just acting upon it. So maybe that's the whole.
So what's the resistance to really act upon it?
I always wonder if it's a little bit of fear of fame or being so big and not knowing how to handle it. I'm not sure because,
Okay, good. Well, so truth, if you were as big as you could perceive, what would really happen, and would it really be fear?
You're making me sweat, Janice. I'm like,
you're blind.
a lot of energy around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I carry a lot of energy with me because of the candy. The whole co-created team with me. So, and I'm not sure if it has to do with the whole sexuality thing either,
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other bucket for us to go down the rabbit hole with. That may take longer than this call. But it is in some. So
go ahead.
So take a breath while I speak. So in some way, like there is an expression here that you're holding back, and that's not what you said, but it is what I'm perceiving energetically. So my question to you is, what is this, like if you were just to say, you know what, I don't care what I lose, I'm going all out. What is the difference between what you're currently being here? The expression of it.
I guess the one thing that pops up is the word stability.
Uh-huh. So what would it take for you to be stable? What is it that you don't have?
Out of debt.
Okay. Yeah. So is it truth or is it a lie that you're fabricating around having to be stable?
It feels like a big society lie.
Yeah. So everywhere where you've been trained to that lie and all the secret, invisible, covert, unseen, unsaid, unacknowledged yuckiness around that, will you destroy and uncreate all those energies?
Yes.
Cool. Take a breath. Yeah. Yeah. And now, from that space of being, what could you create different?
Everything.
Yeah. Anything that doesn't allow you to be that energy, will you destroy and uncreate?
Yes.
Thank you. Take a breath. Cool. So do you feel a little lighter? You feel a little change from that?
I feel a little more expansive and very hot, and my whole head is just like really wide open. So,
right.
Yeah.
So ask your body if it needs something here. So does it need water?
Needs water.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
Water, please.
Yeah. Yeah. So go nurture your body, and good to meet you.
Fantastic. Regina, thank you so much for being on the call. That was great. Wow, Jennifer, you make it seem so easy. You're so calm. You just flow with the energy, and it's just easy for you. And it's, and again, everything you seem to do carries that same vibe, carries that same energy. I think you're amazing. It's phenomenal. And I love the questions that were being asked also, because for those of you guys listening, Regina had some specific issues that she was going through, but can you see how those same questions can prompt you to expose blind spots that perhaps you're not aware of? And by exposing those, how can you move forward in a different way? So come back and listen to the replay. Go through the questions and see how they apply to you and to certain situations in your life, and take advantage of those things and take notes and expose those things that are holding you back. Fantastic exercise. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Let's take a couple of more questions and go into the process. I don't want to run way too long for you guys, because I know we have other things to do, but again, this call is just phenomenal. I just want to keep going forever. I have a question here that I think is fantastic. It comes from San Angelo. I'm assuming that's San Angelo, Texas. I'm not sure, but the statement starts with, I'm a money monk with real issues about allowing myself to have money. Do you have any suggestions?
Everywhere where you've identified yourself as a money monk, will you destroy and uncreate those identities now, please? And take a breath. The energy that comes up around that is, can't ask for money because of spirituality. And I think that it's really interesting when we connect the two, because, money was made in this reality to make things easier. We call it currency, and we call it, something that should flow between one or two people. And in some way, money was almost made in a way for us to have even greater connectedness, and it's really creating separation. It's quite interesting how we have all these belief systems around it. It's literally like, you want a pair of horseshoes, or you want me to put shoes on your horse. Okay, great. You have apple trees. I'll take 3 bushels of apples for these horseshoes. Money was made to really make things easy, and we've made all this meaning around what it is. And we believe because we have quote-unquote spiritual gifts that we can't ask for money because, well, these are my God-given gifts, so I wouldn't ask for that. And I find it really quite interesting for us to go down, it's almost like spiritual superiority. Well, I have these gifts. Well, you know what? Who doesn't have these gifts? When you open the door to all that you are, you really do have access to all these clairvoyant gifts, to all this awareness. And why would you make it superior? And so superior that you would not even ask for money so that you could help others. And do you see how by not asking for money and helping others, how that's actually taking your gifts and putting them in a box and causing even greater limitation?
Wow.
Yeah.
And that actually took me to love. Yeah, because really, if you look at love, it's unlimited. It's ever expansive. There's no shortage of it. It's only what we hold back and put in a box. And money carries a similar energy.
I would
really
agree.
infinite.
Thank you. That's great, John. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that it's interesting. I'm a psychic, and I just say what God tells me, or it's better yet, channel. And I only say what God tells me, right? Well,
right.
That's awesome. And you know what? God gave you that gift for a reason. You might as well utilize it, and not utilize it for money, but utilize it to make money and help more people. If you make more money, can you help more people? Paradigm.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah. So why would you hold back? And why would you not ask for it? And
right.
what is it? And I think the kicker and the thing that hurts a little, but I'm going to ask it anyway, what is it in you that will not allow you to ask for the thing that you want to receive? That little ask and receive thing that they actually did put in the Bible, you know.
That's phenomenal. I love that.
Just being a little facetious, but I think that energy of me playing a little with it allows you to really look at it and be like, yeah, why won't I ask for money? I do have this gift, and this gift is not just for me, but it's for me to help others, and others would pay for it. So maybe it is time for me to ask.
Right, and then we get to not only will they pay for it, but we get to play in it also, and it's the play that unlocks something else also. It's like if you had that freedom, how much more fun and play and liberty would you have to do the things that really make your soul sing, right?
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, when you're functioning out of that joy and happiness, how does the world expand for you? Time flies. New creative ideas come in because you're not so restricted and tied up and in the box, not knowing how to get out of your own energy. You're phenomenal, Jennifer. You're absolutely amazing. I just love it. We're running quite over, Jennifer, and I would love it if we can take a little bit more time and if you can lead us through your process. Yeah.
So, I know that we've been playful, and a lot of you guys think that this needs to be all serious and everything. So, I'm going to offer you this energy, and it'll activate some of those lower areas within you, and it may, kind of turn you on a little. And, as it does, please don't turn it off, but allow the flow to continue to turn you on, and really just take it in just for the moment of this, I don't know, we'll go 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, go ahead and everyone just through the nose, breathe in and take a breath all the way down from your nose, feeling the breath really bring a lot of life from your nose all the way down to the bottom of your spine. And once you get there, I want you to go ahead and imagine this warm, syrupy steam, maybe even a heavy steam. And it really starts to brew in the bottom of your spine. And go ahead and take a few more breaths, starting with the exhale. Breathe all your breath out. And then as you breathe in through the nose, allowing the steam to just wash up and down your spine, really heating up all those areas within the spine that may be keeping you from really being fluid in all that you are. And really taking a moment to explore some of the liquidity of all that you are, so that you fall back in sync with some of these natural states of being, instead of being in an energy of I have to, or an energy of contraction, or an energy of maybe I don't want to. But it'll really drive some inspiration here. Good. And take another breath, breathing really deep in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you're being with this, I want to invite you to a little bit different reality. A reality where you once again become that creator. You once again know that you know, and you're creating from that deep space within you that does know. And breathe in. And out. Starting this currency of energy that starts at the base of your spine and calling it awesomeness. And this awesomeness really starts from this almost rainbow-colored energies. And like a double helix, there are two ribbons that move from the bottom of your spine and awaken you. And awaken you from that place in your amazing, beautiful body. And bringing in this currency of awesomeness, and to anchor it in, go ahead and rub both of your wrists together. Maybe right over left, and then left over right, so that you can get the sensitivity and the sensations of this that activate your entire body. Take a minute and start activating this energy. So even when I'm not on the call, you have it available. And as you rub your wrists together, notice the sensations. What's going on in your body? What is changing here? What do you receive? What do you perceive? And then just noticing that now, and take a breath. Activating every cell with oxygen, every cell with awareness. Really finding yourself connected to this body. And taking a moment to breathe in the connectedness with everyone else on this call and everyone else that will listen to this call. Acknowledging this consciousness, acknowledging this awareness. Take a breath. Acknowledging that there was never anything wrong with you. Acknowledging that everything is just as it is, and maybe you choose to change something, but it is what it is. And just take a breath, acknowledging that now. And what is it that you know about all of this? And what is it that you know that you can change? And everything that it is that you know that you can change, will you connect with each other on the line and change it now? Take a breath. Activating it in the deep sense of your being, activating it in your deep sense of awareness, activating it in the infinite space that you are and all that you are. Anything that doesn't allow you to choose this, will you destroy and then create now, please? Take a breath. So coming aware of the breath and the acknowledgement of the energy in all that you are. Noticing the flow in your body, noticing the tightness in your body, and knowing that everything here is just a choice, a way to create greater change. Anything that doesn't allow you to know that you know, will you destroy and then create? Take a breath. what would you be really willing to receive from others on the call, from other awarenesses, from other space and time? Are you willing to receive it? And take a breath. This energy is an invitation. It's an invitation for you to choose a different way to be. It's an invitation for you to come into your body, connect with this beautiful body that you may have been ignoring. Sorry about that. But maybe you were. And it's space for you to choose to create. It's time for us to choose something different on this planet, and it's time for us to go beyond the ordinary, and I invite you to choose it now. And take a breath. Good. So once again, activating this energetic vibration by just slowly circling your wrists together, putting the right over the left and rotating it around in a few circles, and then the left over the right. Feeling the sensations between the wrists and the sensations of these ribbons of rainbow and these sensations that go all the way down through your body, through the pit of your stomach, through your legs, and all the way down to your infinite being. And take a breath. And then slowly from this space and this consciousness, come back to this call. If your eyes were closed, go ahead and open your eyes. Taking one more moment to acknowledge your body. See your body as it is and what it is without judgment and with deep kindness and deep caring. Acknowledging it as the conscious conduit that will truly create change for you, through you, and for others. And take one more breath. And coming back to this call, allowing the spaciousness to just be what it is, as the beautiful spaciousness that it is. And finding yourself connected, finding yourself aware, finding yourself inspired and ready to maybe choose something very presently after this call. Good. And take 3 more breaths as we wrap this up. Coming more and more deeply into your presence. If there's any other scattered spaces or places where you left yourself in this universe, go ahead and allow consciousness to guide you and bring all those spaces back to you and into you. And one more deep breath in through the nose. And then say hi. Hi, John.
Hey, Janet. That's fantastic. I love your perspective and understanding and ability to take that higher vibration and ground it in. It's so refreshing, and it's so needed, Janet. We need to be able to ground into our creativity so that we can create the change that we want to see not only in ourselves but in the world as well. And your energy is just it's such a treasure for all of us. So it's amazing, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. You guys listen on the call. Again, we're going to run the replays tomorrow and over the weekend. So you get back on the line, listen to Jennifer again, go through the process, take notes. The replay is going to be played on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. And for Jennifer's package, again, she's included that extra bonus for us, which I'm thrilled that you're offering that, Jennifer. Thank you for doing that for our listeners. It's very generous of you, and it's sign up again. I don't know of anyone who grounds things in like Jennifer does. And if you can take, I know you guys on the call that y'all are super psychic, you're super intuitive, you're super empathetic. If you can take that information, transform it to the positive, bring in that positive energy and ground it in, what you can create in this lifetime is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Don't hold back. Whether it's Jennifer's course or something else that really resonates for you, listen to your body, get that yes-no response, and dive in. You've got a tremendous opportunity to do that, but I think this offer is fantastic. And, again, you can get to it at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Jennifer1, JENETH1. Take advantage of it, and you're going to have a great time with Jennifer in the process also. So and I don't want to sound like I'm overselling. I just really believe in what you're bringing to the table. Again, it's so valuable, and you're showing up for 28 days. Yeah.
28 days, yeah.
28 days. It's so underpriced. I'm telling you, I don't want to sound like I'm selling. I don't like it when I hear on other shows when I hear people selling, but it just really is. It's a fantastic program. I highly encourage you guys to sign up for it. And whether you do or not, listen to the calls over again. Take these processes. Take advantage of the information that's been given to you here for free. Because we want you guys to expand. We want you guys to open up to your potential, because as you do, we create a phenomenal world together. So again, I want to thank everyone for being on the call. I have so much appreciation for all of you guys that are wanting to do this deeper transformational work, that knows that there's something better and you want to get there. You're on this journey. We're all on the same journey together. Let's do it together. Let's continue evolving. Let's use these fantastic tools that are at our disposal and create the world, again, this beautiful world that we know that we're capable of creating. Jennifer, thank you. You're phenomenal, amazing. It's always a pleasure spending time with you.
It's mutual.
Oh, thanks. And again, for everyone on the call, I'm sending you a big hug, a lot of love, and I look forward to you guys joining us on the next call. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye, everyone.